Michelle Renee Lane writes dark speculative fiction about identity politics and women of color battling their inner demons while fighting/falling in love with monsters. Her short fiction has appeared in several anthologies, and her Bram Stoker Award-nominated debut novel, Invisible Chains, 2019, is available from Haverhill House Publishing. Michelle, take it away.
Hi, folks. Today, I'm going to be reading a scene from chapter 13 of the novel in which my protagonist is about to be punished for something that is completely out of her control. Okay. I looked up into the nymph's face. Drops of water splashed my cheeks and mixed with tears. I wished my body were solid like the statue the first time the whip struck my back and split it open. After the fifth lash, I lost count. Each time he struck me, a new gash opened on my back. The pain was so bad, I couldn't catch my breath, which made it harder to scream. My dress was in shreds, and so was the skin on my back. Blood and sweat mixed into a salty, sticky mess that ran down my sides, stinging my open wounds, and dripped into the fountain. Salt, musk, blood, and leather combined into a perfume which on their own would normally have pleased me. Now, they would only remind me of pain and fear. I cried and begged, but no one heeded my pleas. Then, all of a sudden, the beating stopped. My back tensed as I waited for the next blow, but it didn't come. "What are you waiting for? Strike her again, James," Lottie shouted. "Hush, Charlotte. I heard something in the alley behind the house." Near the rear wall of the courtyard, there was a low growl. I opened my eyes and looked down into the fountain. The water had turned pink. The growl came again, but I couldn't see what was making it. "Jimmy, go see what that is, but come right back. We're not done here," Lynch said. All the strength had left my body. I couldn't fight now if I had to. More than anything, I just wanted to lie down and die right there in the garden. I was about to fade from exhaustion when something jumped over the wall and attacked Lynch. Lottie screamed. With the little strength I had left, I turned to see what could only be a wolf tearing its way through Lynch's throat and chest. It was the biggest animal I had ever seen, at least as tall as a man, taller, and covered in coarse black fur. It picked Lynch up and shook him from side to side in its jaws, and then dropped him to the ground. Then it came at me. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Lottie crawling across the yard to kneel beside her husband's corpse. I was so tired and scared, I couldn't even scream when the animal fell forward onto its front paws and started walking towards me on all fours. Big John came around the corner of the house with an axe. He raised it over his head and ran at the animal, but he wasn't fast enough. The wolf turned and snapped his teeth at Big John. He jumped back just in time and didn't get bitten, but the wolf bore down on him and chased him toward the house. Lottie rose on unsteady feet. Blood covered her hands and the front of her dress. She quietly backed away from Lynch's body and followed Big John into the house. No one was coming to save me. The wolf turned back to me and approached the fountain, stopping short just a few feet away, watching me. It didn't come any closer. I thought for sure it would kill me. Instead, the creature bowed its head, then looked me in the eyes. I swear that animal was smiling at me. Then it turned and leapt back over the wall. I don't know how long I was out, but when I came to, Senor Velazquez was untying my hands. A wide-brimmed black hat and his little round dark spectacles kept the sun off his face, and leather gloves covered his hands. He lifted me into his arms and carried me to my room. He placed me face down on the bed and examined my wounds. "Jacqueline, can you hear me?" "Yes," I whispered. My throat hurt from screaming. "You lost a lot of blood. Your skin is badly torn. Will you allow me to help you?" His words were clipped and tense. "Yes, Senor Velasquez." "Call me Carlos." "Carlos?" "Yes." "Am I going to die?" "Not if I can help it." "Did you see the wolf?" "I did. We can talk about it after you rest." I turned my head to look at him kneeling next to the bed. I had never seen a white man so worried before. A frown twisted his beautiful mouth, and his eyes were glassy like he'd been crying. Had he watched Lynch whipping me? Carlos removed his hat, gloves, and spectacles and set them on the table next to my bed. His cold fingers soothed away some of the pain as he examined my back. He peeled shredded scraps of my dress from inside the wounds. I gripped the blanket and bit my lip. My back was raw, sore, and sticky. "Your wounds are much worse than I thought," Carlos said. He held my hand, and I saw there was fear in his eyes. "I'm not dead yet." My vision blurred. I had to close one eye to focus. He stroked my cheek and brushed away strands of hair that had become stuck to my face with sweat. The coolness of his hand comforted me. I wanted to drift off to sleep, or even death, but the pain wouldn't let me. "Jacqueline, I'm going to heal you. Without my help, you will die. You lost a lot of blood when James beat you. Unless you want to become like me, I must heal you before you lose more blood." "How?" He stood and took off his long black coat, rolled up his white shirt sleeve, and pulled a pocket knife from his vest. He pierced the flesh in the crook of his arm, lifted my head, and placed his arm against my mouth. "Drink," he said.